Good morning, everyone. I miss you so much, girls. How was your weekend? I hope everything is going very well with you and you understood the first part of our lesson. How can we classify rocks? Today we are going to start part 2, and now let's warm up with these two questions. The first question: how do igneous rocks form? And the second question is: what are examples of igneous rocks? First question: how do igneous rocks form? I'll give you time now to think about this. Do you remember the definition? Igneous rocks are rocks that are formed from molten rock. Exactly. Super. The second question: what are examples of igneous rocks? We had three examples. The examples that you have to memorize are pumice, basalt, and granite. Amazing. Let's start our part for today. Today we are going to learn how igneous rocks form in different ways. Before we start, I want you to open your book, page 246 and 247, and write the date. Well, let's start now, girls. Remember what we said about the forming of igneous rocks that formed from a volcano. We said that we have the molten rock that are getting out from the volcano when the volcano erupts. These molten rock are called lava. We said lava on land. Great. The very big question that I want to start with today. Do you think that is the lava, girls, cooled down or cooling down fast or slow? What do you think? Some girls may say that the lava cools down very quickly, and some girls may say that it will take so much time because it's very hot, so it will cool down very slow. All the answers are correct because the lava may cool down very slow or it may cool down very fast. So today we are going to learn how does the igneous rocks form if the lava cools down very fast or if it cools down very slow. When the lava cools down very fast, sometimes some air bubbles trap inside the lava. And when it cools down very fast, so these gas bubbles or air bubbles will not have time to go out. So when it cools down, it's like cooling down, and inside it, it has balloons or bubbles of gas. So it will cool down, looks like a sponge when it harden. Why? Because already we had air inside, air bubbles inside, and the air didn't have time to go out. So it will get hard while I have gas inside. So the shape of the igneous rock will look like a sponge, or it has some space inside it. That space for the gas inside the lava, and the lava got hard without getting this air outside to escape out of it. So the shape of the igneous rock here, it will look like bubbly, or it has gas bubbles inside, or we can say it looks like a sponge, like this. Lava may cool very quickly on the land in few minutes or even in few days. The formed rocks may have bubbles because there was no time for the gas to escape, so they will harden in this shape. Great. So now let's understand what if it cools very slow. So again, we finished what happen if the lava cool down very quickly. Okay, here the opposite will happen. If the lava cools down very slowly, so the gas bubbles will get time to go out. So the formed rocks will not have any bubbles, so it will harden in this shape. It's the opposite from this one, cooling down very fast or cooling down very slow. The one that cools down very fast, it will have gas bubbles inside it. But here, the formed igneous rocks have no bubble bubbles or gas bubbles because the gas got time to escape out of the lava. Got it, girls? Look at this picture, girls. This is how the gas bubbles get into the lava because it's like exploding and some gas may trapped between the liquid lava. Okay, here also I have two examples of different igneous rocks. Which one, girls, cools very quickly? The right one or the left one? Amazing. The left one because it trapped gas bubbles in it. And this one, the obsidian, it cooled very slow, so there is no gas bubbles trapped in it. The gas got enough time to get out of the lava before it is getting hard. Okay, this is the bubbly pumice and the glassy obsidian. The pumice is an example of igneous rock that is getting hard very quickly. You have to know this. I have a smart question now. Any idea what might make lava cool very quickly? Why the lava may cool very quickly? It's too hot, teacher. You said that it has a very high temperature. How can it get cool that much quickly? Okay, you will answer this. I want you to think what makes the lava when it's very hot getting out of the erupted volcano cools down very quickly. Think about this. Okay. Sometimes the volcanoes girls erupt next to oceans. So when the lava fall into the water, it will cool down very fast. And we have an example of igneous rock that is getting cool under ocean or underwater. It's basalt. Basalt is a kind of igneous rock that forms under ocean. Another reason, girls, sometimes the volcanic eruption happen in a very cold place, like Iceland, for example. This is an erupted volcano that already erupted in an inside snow or beside snow. So here also it will cool down very fast. Got it, girls? Look at this one. Amazing pictures. Great, girls. So that was our first part of the lesson. What happens when the lava cools down quickly or very fast? When it cools down very fast, the formed rocks will have trapped gas bubbles inside them. And when it has time to cool down, or when it cools down very slow, no gas will be trapped inside. It will have enough time to escape out of the lava, and the formed hard igneous rock will have no gas bubbles in it. Great. Let's start the second part of our lesson. today. Also about forming of the igneous rocks, when they form very fast or when they form very slow. But I have to tell you something, girls. We have something called minerals. What are minerals? They are natural, non-living solid crystals that make up rocks. They are natural solids that are formed between the rocks or inside rocks or make up the rocks. Crystals of minerals may form in the igneous rocks while cooling down. I just want to tell you something. If you want to know more about minerals, we have the first lesson in chapter 6, lesson 1. How are minerals classified? It's talking about minerals. It's extra information. If you want to know about minerals, you can read this lesson for extra knowledge or information. It's in your book, okay? Page 239 till page 243. This is extra if you want to read about minerals. What are minerals? Examples that we know. We have many minerals like gold is a mineral, silver, copper, aluminium, iron, graphite. Many examples of minerals. Um, they are found formed in rocks. Um, those minerals are formed while the igneous rocks are cooling down. Good. This is very good. But we just said that the igneous rocks may cool down very fast or they may cool down very slow. What do you think, girls, about forming of crystals if the rocks are cooling and hardening fast? And what if they are cooling and hardening very slow? When the igneous rocks are cooling down very fast, do you think the crystals will have time to form? Just in few minutes or in few days, the crystals will have enough time to grow and get bigger? Sure, no. So when the igneous rocks form or cool down very fast, the crystals will not have time to form, or they will form, but they will be very small, very fine. So sometimes the lava cools so quickly that crystals don't have time to form at all. Or if they are cooling down in few days, so they will form, but they will be very small. But if the igneous rocks are cooling down and hardening very slow, those rocks have large crystals of minerals. Look at this rock. It has large pieces or large crystals of minerals like the quartz and feldspar. So now we are talking about cooling down of igneous rocks and forming crystals. We said the crystals are solid that form the rocks. Those minerals like the gold, silver, copper, iron, or graphite even are formed between the rocks or inside or through the rocks. Those minerals, they may form with very large crystals or very small crystals. It depends on what? Depends on the cooling down of the igneous rocks. If the rocks are cooling down very fast, so the crystals will not have time to form, or even they will form very small. But if they are forming very slow, so the crystals will have time to form very big. How they are formed? Sure, you are asking yourself now. They are formed in a chemical way. The particles are getting closer to each other to form those crystals. You will study or you will learn this inshallah in upper grades. If you want to learn more, you can Google this or watch YouTube videos about forming of minerals. This is happen in a chemical way, forming the particles next to each other, growing, forming big crystals, or if they don't have time to get bigger, they will uh, um, form a very small crystals of minerals if the igneous rock is getting cool very fast. Look at this one also, it has large crystals of minerals. So here let's revise it. Cooling and crystallizing, or forming the crystals, the growing crystals getting bigger, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. If here in step 2 the rock got hard very fast, so it will have only very small crystals, because once it gets hard, no crystals can be formed after getting hard. The crystals are formed while the lava is getting cool and hard. After the rock is formed and gets hard, no crystals can be formed anymore. So if it got hard in step number 1, no crystals will be formed. If it got hard in step number 2, I will have only fine or small crystals. If it got hard in step number 5 or step number 6, so it got hard very slowly, it means that it will form large crystals. The longer the rocks take to cool, the larger the crystals can get. Again, say it with me, please. The longer the rocks take to cool, the larger the crystals can get. So we can say LL longer, LL larger, longer and larger. Faster, finer. Finer means smaller or even no crystals. Got it, girls? Amazing. Super. Now let's go to ask a question. Girls, now we understood if the lava is cooling very fast or very slow once the volcano erupts and the lava get on the land. Can the magma under the ground, girls, you remember this magma? Molten rock under the ground. Yeah. Can this magma form igneous rocks? Can this magma cool down under the ground without getting outside? Yeah. Did you hear sometimes some volcanoes they don't erupt? So the magma under the ground will cool down without getting outside. So this magma also will form igneous rocks. Magma may cool down and form igneous rocks even under the ground. This may take millions of years to happen. Girls, the cooling of magma will be fast or slow. It will take so long time. So long time. It may take millions of years. But why? Why do you think magma takes too long time to cool down? Why? I want you to think. Because magma is already under the ground, girls, and we said before that the magma or under the ground it's so hot already. So to cool down, it may take years and years to cool down. It may take millions of years to cool down and form igneous rocks. I want to ask you a question now. What do you think about the crystals that will be formed from the cooled magma? Do you think they will be large crystals or small crystals or no crystals at all? The longer the magma takes to cool, the larger the crystals can get. So now we can say that the magma or the igneous rocks that form it from magma will have very large crystals. So again, the longer the magma takes, longer the larger the crystals can get. Super great for. So we said that the igneous rocks formed when melted rock cools and hardens. It may cool down slowly, it will form large crystals, and it may cool down quickly, so it will form small crystals or even no crystals. These are some examples or pictures of igneous rocks. This is the one that has bubbles, this is the one that has large crystals, and we have here many pictures also and names. This is for reading only. This one also. If we are now in the class, I will show you the real examples of rocks. I had them in the lab, but unfortunately we cannot see them. So I put for you these pictures. So now let's wrap up our lesson quickly. Today we studied what happened when the lava cools down very fast and what happened when lava or magma cool down very slow. When the lava cools down very fast, bubbles of gas may be formed or trapped inside the hard rocks. The air will not have time to escape, so it will be formed in this way. And when they cool down slow, no air bubbles will be formed because the air will have time to escape out of the uh, rock. When the lava cools down very fast, fine crystals may form or even no crystals can be formed because there is no time for the crystals to form. But when they cool down very slow, the large crystals will be formed because they will have time to form. You are not asked to memorize these words, but you have to just know that the lava or the magma, when they cool down very slow, the larger crystals will have time to form. Got it, girls? Now, open your book. Let's open the book together. Page 246 and 247. We need to answer question number 2 and 4. Question number 2. Ignis comes from the word ignis, means or meaning fire. Study the photo of the lava flow on these pages. Why is igneous a good name for this type of rock? Please think about it. We just said it through our explanation. Yeah, it means fire, so it comes from something that is burning or melting. So we can say that it's a good name because they are made from molten rocks. Super. Now let's think about question number 4. It's on in page 247. We are going to classify those 6 kinds of rocks. Study the photos and captions of igneous rocks on these pages. Circle the rocks that cooled down or cooled quickly. Draw an X on the rocks that cooled slowly. Okay, let's read the first example. Pumice forms from lava that has lots of trapped gas bubbles. Crystals don't have time to form in pumice. So this means that pumice cools down very fast or very slow. It has trapped gas bubbles and it has no crystals. Amazing. It formed very fast. So we are going to circle it. Next one is granite has large crystals of quartz, feldspar, and mica. Its crystals are easy to see, easy, so you can see them with your eyes very easy. So it has large crystals. So it's formed fast or slow? Super slow. So the crystals had time to form. The longer, the larger. Amazing. Next one, obsidian is a volcanic glass. It has no crystals. No crystals. So it formed very fast. Amazing. Yes. So we were going to circle it. Next, basalt is one of the most common igneous rocks. It often has small, fine crystals. Very small, fine, so it's slow. It cools down fast or slow. Fine, so it is fast. Excellent, because it has no time to make larger crystals. Okay, next one, gabbro is similar in makeup to basalt, but it has larger crystals, so it formed fast or slow, larger, so it's longer or slower. Amazing. Pegmatite contains the same minerals as granite. It often has very large crystals, so it formed or it cooled down very fast or very slow. Slow, because it's large. Amazing. So we are going to put an X. Got it, girls? So we are done. Your homework today is to read and study the lesson and to do page 75 and 76. Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, you can send me on the portal. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.